Previously, we explored past the first bridge, into the central square, up to the highway exit, and through to the smaller square arena. In this video, we'll be going to the last few areas of the map. This is a direct continuation of part 1, so I do urge you to watch that one first, just so you know some of the tricks I won't be going over again here. Before we start, let's address new developments. A few days have passed, and new tasks have been available to level up intel level. I passed level 8 and immediately checked if enemies appear behind a bridge gate. And it turns out, even without removing the gate, enemies still spawn here. The area is even a valid respawn point if you fall on the ground. I thought that was pretty interesting. The second big development is Carol. She's sadly not very useful for our endeavors. She excels on the ground and is a lot of fun to play, but all she ever wants to do is stay on the ground. Her aerials attack don't float, and her charge attack, much like
main character,
plunges her into the ground. She doesn't even have a combo in the air. She also has the smallest jump in the game by far. Even with her fully charged super uppercut, she barely reaches heights main character can. With all of this out of the way, let's get things going. In the previous video, I looked around the central plaza and found these 3 areas of interest, just from the exits. But it's more like there are 4. The west exit brings us to 2 gates, one level 14 and one level 17. These bring to the final 2 areas we will explore. Getting past them is effectively the same process. It requires clipping into the plaza ground and heading towards the corner of these 2 buildings. This is where Carol can actually shine. By switching to Carol and back to May, you can sink yourself into the ground further. Useful for not clipping back into the plaza. Just be careful not to do it too much. I realized this after, but if you actually switch between May and
main character,
it does effectively the same result. I guess it must be because the 2 heights of the characters are different, and so when switching it tries to sink you a little further than it used to be. So much for Carol being useful. Once we're in position, we can aim ourselves toward this square area and use May's jump slash to clip through. Immediately continue with a combo attack and switch to
main character,
the dash, jump, dash for extra height. Then back to May and change charge attacks and combos to get the last bit of height you need and clip from on the ground. This area is surprisingly small, essentially a road up to our next gate, level 15. It does give us a good view of our next goal though. If we look back at our travels, there are still 3 gates left to pass. The westmost of the plaza, the end of the highway exit, and the end of this little area we just explored. All 3 of those bring us to the final area, and it is a big one. Very fittingly, it is the most difficult to reach. This is why I waited until Saturday to finish this video. The tasks let me pass level 10 and upgrade May's passive for a 3rd kinetic energy bar. Now, if you were very attentive in the last part, you can see at times that the map is fully explored. Getting to this next area is actually possible with only 2 KE bars, but it's a lot more tedious. You'll simply have to charge May's ultimate to act as a 3rd dash. I'll show you that technique on the top left of the screen. The setup is the same as the previous, but the angle this time is more straight on into the corner. Perform May's jump slash, then aerial combo, switch, aerial combo, dash, jump, dash. Switch for charge attack, and keep chaining aerial combos, charge attacks, and switching when needed. You should get there without too much issue, but it is a bit tight. The main problem with this jump is the time between each attempt if you don't have the 3rd KE bar, as getting May's ultimate back up is a bit tedious, so I do recommend getting level 10 intel for this one. For those wondering, I did go check the boss spawn after passing intel level 8 and 9, but it still crashed. This is the area where you find Joyce in the story, except without the bench trap this time. It's nothing much until you turn back and head into the crumbling city. This, in my opinion, is the coolest looking area. The crumbling buildings, the bridge ripped off, only headed by these strange red stones. It really is awe-inspiring. And it heads straight into the large red construct we see in the distance. Or it would have, if it weren't for one final gate. This gate is the only thing between us and the end of the map. Getting past it is going to be a nightmare. The bridge is very well protected by invisible walls, so we're going to be going from very far back. This side of the building that lets you reach the lower area, to be exact. Now, this distance doesn't seem too absurd. It's less far than the distance from the bridge to the highway exit, but our goal is higher up than our jumping off point, and that's what makes this an extremely difficult jump. Our only ways of gaining height are jumping or May's aerial combo. Luckily, Our absurdly low intel level might be our strength here. When hitting gates in the air, May doesn't fall and can stay afloat, essentially forever, by continuously attacking. And this goes for chests too. On this bridge is an intel level 22 chest. What we are going to do is get to that chest from out of bounds and keep hitting it until all of our KE fills up. Then we dash away and we can keep our combos going. This is extremely tough though, even with 3 KE bars. And will take a lot of tries. You can even bring a May ultimate to gain distance and time. But do not get discouraged, because after failure, after failure, after failure, after failure, you'll remember you can just use the walking under the ground glitch. I just clip under the gate and easily make it through. Yeah, wasted a lot of time there. But that doesn't matter, because now we've made it. And now we can walk towards the end of the bridge and crash again, because a boss cannot spawn. Pretty anticlimactic, I know, but I expected something of the sort. There seems to be a different boss called Boss Knight. That's not a very original name, but I wonder who it could be. My best bet is on Code 9 Hermit, as he looks somewhat light-like, and is pretty early numerical-wise. It feels strange how less than a week ago, this new map came out, and in just a few days, before even reaching the level to get past the first gate, it's possible to explore all of this incredible map. Looking around it for places to break, it has really made me appreciate the design and effort that went into creating this beautiful open world. So to finish this video, I want to congratulate MiHoYo for giving me one of the most fun times I've had with their games.